All right, here we go. Here we go. Wednesday night. You already know what it is. I'm your host, Jose V. This is another episode of Straight Bet Sports. We are coming to you live from the sports and entertainment capital of the world, none other than Las Vegas, Nevada. And of course, we are on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network, your home for 24/7 positive hip-hop music culture, and of course, sports as well. We got a good show on tap for you guys tonight. We got one of your favorite locals, Ramon Martin del Campo from the Las Vegas Lights, joining us in studio here shortly. Got a lot of things to talk about with this young man. Not only are we going to talk about soccer, we're also going to talk about life. So it's going to be fun conversations. Just became a dad, so he's got a lot of stories to tell us there. But not only that, Rob, we're both sporting our Barcelona jersey today. Got to give them a big up. They came out with the 1-0 victory.
Yeah, they scored super late. Actually, no, I think it was a little bit earlier.
Suarez, your favorite player?
Yes, sir.
So wait, are you still a Liverpool fan, or is that out the window now?
I like Liverpool. That's my Premier League team.
Because that's where you were at when you were a big Suarez fan.
When Suarez took off at Liverpool, that's kind of when I started following him a lot. So, but yeah, I followed him over to Barca. But I'm still a Liverpool fan. I watched the game today too as well. So
he is Rob G, co-host, hanging out with us in the studio as well. We got Joel B in the background, taking care of us as always with the behind-the-scene pictures, videos, and clips of everything that you don't get to see on our live feed here. Now, if you're already watching this, go ahead and do us all a favor. Go ahead and press the like button, put a comment in there, and not only that, share to make sure that you can let everybody know what you're doing tonight. You had lots of things that you could have done, but you decided to choose us, and we greatly appreciate you. James, appreciate you doing everything behind the big board. Quan stepping out tonight, but we're still going to have fun. So without further ado, let's jump right into it so we can go ahead and pay these bills, get them out of the way, let everybody know who we're sponsored by. I don't know why I spaced out there. Tonight we are brought to you by Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, a realtor here to help educate current and future Las Vegas locals on selling and investing in real estate. You're probably asking yourself, educate? Trust me, there's a surprising amount of adults that when it comes to real estate, don't know the right questions to ask, don't know where to start, and think they need a lot of cash to buy a house here in Nevada, which simply isn't true. So Josh has decided to make it his responsibility to teach his clients what they need to know, and equally important, what they need to ask to help ensure making their home ownership dreams a reality. So make sure you call or text Joshua LaFon today at 702-813-0533. This has been another paid advertisement from Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, 702-813-0533. I don't know what happened there. I just fumbled it up a little bit.
All right.
I'm still tired, bro, from that drive. We went to go visit our good friend Dwayne Colucci earlier today over at Rampart Racing Sportsbook Casino. We had to go check out the lines, man, for this fight now that Masvidal jumped in over, that Burns is out. He's going to fight Usman. But before we get into that and before we get into our co-host, Rob, let's go ahead and jump into some quick little sports topics here that I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's do it.
Patrick Mahomes just signed literally the most lucrative contract in all of sports history. Literally insane. 10-year, $503 million contract is what it's looking to be with everything that he has on the table incentive-wise. Not only that, I'm reading here that he has a $140 million injury guarantee, meaning he gets injured, he's still going to get $140 million of this money.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. A lot of people, it's the 503?
503,
503, yeah. It's that's best case scenario. I was kind of, if you haven't had a chance, I suggest everyone go kind of take a look at the breakdown of how it works. It's pretty crazy, the breakdown of what he has to do to honestly get to the 503. It's 503, right?
Yeah, 503.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 503.
And then the way that they structured it, it's definitely a team-friendly contract. So they can kind of opt out several times throughout the contract, and then he can opt out several times or renegotiate. Yeah, restructure, renegotiate. So everyone's kind of eyes popped out of their head when they saw the 503, but the odds of him actually making it to the 503 is honestly, it's slim to none. It's literally slim to none. He's got to win the Super Bowl all 10 years. He's got to win the Super Bowl all 10. Much. Yeah, so it doesn't even start till 2020. I think it doesn't start till 2022.
He had 2 years left on his contract.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a 12-year. He's got 12 years left with them because the contract doesn't kick in for another 2 years.
Well, I thought they just added 8 to the actual 2.
No, I was reading a little bit more about it before the show, and it's 2 years. It doesn't start for another 2 years, and then he's got, to get to 503. It's some crazy, some jumping through a lot of hoops to get there. Got to win the Super Bowl every single year. Got to win the MVP of the league every single year. So I honestly, he's not going to really make it to 50. He's not going to make it to 503. And then injuries and being a mobile quarterback the way he is, it's not going to. I'm sorry, nothing. I'm not trying to rain on his parade. I'm happy for him. Get your money. Get paid while you can. But the odds of that kind of finishing out the way that that it is on paper is super slim.
But not only that, you mentioned it too. It's a team friendly contract. I believe they're only going to have their salary cap's only going up by $30,000 this year coming up.
Yeah, so
which is insane.
I think it was
throw out that much money on a deal which has never been seen before. But your salary cap's only going to go up $30,000.
They can put some weapons around him at the beginning of that contract, but I can't.
And what's crazy is that he already has weapons.
Yeah.
They just drafted the kid out of LSU.
Hilaire, right? Everyone struggles on that last name. Everyone struggles on that last name. And then how long do you expect to really have the best tight end in the league? Right?
Not 10 years. Not the next 10 years.
Yeah, they got the best.
I mean, you ain't got Jason Witten there.
No. Yeah, correct. And then, I mean, Kelsey is the best tight end in the league next to Kittle.
But his style of play, too, like you say with Patrick Mahomes, he's a running quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback. He's been hurt, the injury thing with the kneecap. Travis Kelce's a rough player, too. Like, he's not, just in there trying to catch balls, dive, and I'm down. No, he's taking hits. He's dragging guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Tyreek too. I mean, how long are all those people going to be there? I mean, so the good news is that they can put like weapons around him early in the contract. But I think one of the years, I think it was 2025. It's like a 60 million cap hit on it's crazy. It's like 59 something cap hit or something from what I read. So down the road in about 4 or 5 years, it's going to be super tough for them to put some weapons around him, or if they've already signed some people or whatever. But they're most likely going to renegotiate, and like I said, making it to 503 is slim.
Look at some of these contracts, though. You have Mike Trout, which is the guy he just surpassed.
The crazy thing, that's guaranteed. Before you get to any of that, that's guaranteed.
$426.5 million. Canelo Alvarez, when he signed with the Zone, Dazn, whatever you want to call him, $365 million. Bryce Harper, $330 million. Giancarlo, which he went to the same high school as you, I believe.
Yeah, went to the same high school as him.
$325 million. Like this is money that I couldn't even fathom to think about when I was a kid.
So they
see what these contracts.
They have it in that those contracts. They're in my personal opinion, they're going to get paid more than at the end of the day. They're going to get paid more than Mahomes, because baseball is guaranteed. So no matter.
We got a call already. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Damn. All right. Caller. Where you calling from? What's your name?
Jose V, what it do, man? It's your boy Goose, man. Let the ball down. Sports Talk Radio in the building, man. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's up, Goose? Appreciate you calling in, brother. How's everything going tonight?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Just sitting in the backyard, man, enjoying a cigar, man, with wifey, man. We chilling, man, watching the Shy, man. What's good?
Nothing much, man. We up in the studio with Ramon Martin del Campo, one of the Las Vegas Lights FC soccer players. Right now.
Shout out, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. Can't wait to see y'all out there, man.
Big time,
man. If we
Thank
get a
you
chance to see y'all out there, man. No doubt about it, man. But I heard y'all talking about these contracts, man. And I heard you, one that stuck out to me, man, Giancarlo Stanton, bro. $325 million for what?
You're saying this to a Yankee fan right now, right?
Hey man, look, then you should be able to say the same thing I'm saying.
No, I got you. Too much money. It's way too
he
much
doesn't deserve to be on that list.
Entirely. Look, I love Giancarlo. Absolutely love the dude, but I mean that injury bug, and we talk about the injury bug all the time. That's like a staple with us with LTBV, man. The injury bug has caught Giancarlo Stanton, bro. Like big, huge,
yeah,
unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, bro.
He won't live out that contract. He won't live out that contract. I don't think so.
Absolutely not, man. And Dre Bailey is a Yankee fan as well, man. And he asked the exact same thing. Like, what did we get his dude $300+ million for?
Well, it was the Marlins that gave it to him, right?
Why did we do it? Yeah. Well, for him to to come over, and for him not to even come close. Right. But for him to come over to the pinstripes and to not even come close to living up to it. I mean, his time with the Marlins, I mean, he balled out, but you're talking about for a horrible, horrible baseball team, horrible franchise, if you ask me. But I mean, for him not to even come close to performing to the contract is just crazy. You know, Bryce Harper gets a lot of flack for him not, you know, being that guy. But if you look at his numbers, not so much his batting average, but his home runs and his RBI, he actually did okay, bro. He didn't do half bad, man, in comparison.
No, I get it. He didn't live up to the contract, but he did good enough to actually try to get people off his back, definitely.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, it's some. I know you guys were getting at Patrick Mahomes and his 10-year, $503 million deal with, I want to say, more than $450 million of it guaranteed. I mean, that's just insane. But you're talking about the best quarterback in the league, hands down, right now. Probably the best player in the league. That's debatable. I mean, you can really debate that, but he's box office. He's a league MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, and a Super Bowl champion. It's not much you can argue, bro, with what he's put on the table.
I think it's too soon, Goose. Here's the thing. I'm not saying the kid doesn't deserve the money, but I think it's way too soon. And not only that, 10 years. Are we really going to see this style of a quarterback for the next 10 years in the Kansas City offense?
I'm not sure, man. But you gotta think who they've surrounded him with as well. I mean, the most important component they've surrounded him with that nobody's talking about is Andy Reid. I think that is the deal breaker. When you got a play caller like Andy Reid who can play to all of his offensive players' strengths like that, and I mean, you got to do like Pat Mahomes, who has all the strengths in the world that you can play to. I mean, the sky's the limit with that offense. The one thing I am concerned about in the long term, though, with them is defensively. I'm concerned about them long-term defensively because they've spent so much time racking up the offense, and rightfully so. I get it because this is an offensive-driven, league. But I'm concerned about their defense long-term. They were better. I think total defense, they were in the top 10. I want to say they were either 7th or 8th in total defense this year. But the year prior, they were in the bottom 5. Yeah, so it's you know what I'm saying? So I'm concerned about the defense long term, and who knows what Chris Jones is going to do? That's big right there. Like if you don't have that dude, it's gonna be tough trading for that Kansas City defense, man.
Goose Thomas, man, jumping in and letting us know his thoughts about Patrick Mahomes.
No question, man.
And a couple of other things, man, as well.
I love the kid. I love the kid, man. I really do. I love that dude, man. It's funny, man. When he was at Texas Tech, a lot of people didn't really gravitate toward him because Texas Tech didn't really play on TV like that. But I'm a college football guy. I'm a Florida State fan. Chop on, War Chant, all that good stuff. But I watch college football, and a lot of people really didn't gravitate toward Patrick Mahomes like that simply because of where he played, and he didn't play, at really any primetime games like that. When you did catch him, it was on Fox Sports 1 where, a whole lot of people wasn't watching. It wasn't NBC, ABC, CBS, and none of those, main stations. But when you were able to catch him, the dude's box office, bro. He was box office in college. And a lot of people just got to see him flourish when he got to the NFL.
No, I agree with you. It's just different style of offense, different style of coaching, and somebody was able to bring out the best in him. That's all it was.
Absolutely, man. The very best. I mean, it's just unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable stuff, man. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to jump on, man, and chime in with you, bro. Stay doing what you're doing, bro. We love what you're doing. And soon enough, man, the people will see what Jose V is doing, man. You got a great thing going, bro. Salute to you, my man.
Appreciate it, Goose. Appreciate that, man. Seriously, if you guys have not checked them out, Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio every Tuesday night and Saturday afternoon here on Gorilla Cross Radio.
No doubt, man. My guy, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon, brother. Stay safe. Enjoy that cigar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. That was a little interesting phone call there. Wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, so soon, huh?
So let's go ahead and introduce Ramon now, because we already introduced him with Goose on the phone.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it now. Without further ado, Ramon Martin del Campo, because I like to say your whole name. I'm sorry. It's just the way I do it. Las Vegas Lights FC defender, if I got that correct as well.
That's right.
Joining us in studio, my man. How are you doing? How's your day been so far?
Dude, extremely blessed. Doing excellent. Day's been great. Had an amazing training session out there with the boys today. Been exhausted too. Had like maybe almost a 3-hour nap after that training session. That's how hard it
Really?
was.
That
But
heat?
That heat is draining. But other than that, man, blessed, happy, excited to be here. I love Las Vegas, man. I'm happy to be here, dude.
So you've been here a short period of time now, because you came here when the season was about to start.
Yeah.
They brought you in, the new guy. But you were brought in to be a quick face of the franchise in a way and a leader here. And how has that been so far? Because you've been away from the game and not been able to practice with your guys that much.
I mean, it's definitely interesting, right? Because this whole preseason with Eric, it was, playing my role of being a leader, helping the guys out, and them doing the same with me, and then just a complete freeze. And it's like, go home, stay home, don't do anything. And you just sort of lose contact, and like naturally, for a footballer, it sucks, right? Because you can't do anything about it. And then, what am I going to tell the guys? I'm no doctor. I'm not. They got to deal with this situation the way they got to deal with it, and you just hope that everyone's a professional and finds a way to stay fit for when it's time to come back, which is July 25th.
How excited are you to get to July 25th?
Man, I'm super pumped. But it's crazy though. It's a little torn because one, I'm excited to get out there and play, but I'm bummed that there's gonna be no fans. Like that's
the
super
tough part.
unfortunate. The fans is football. The fans is soccer. They're everything. That's the reason why you play. I mean, you dream of playing in stadiums with people that are watching you, right? No one ever is dreaming of just playing on a field by themselves.
Empty.
I mean, it's great if you get paid. That's awesome. But you do it because there's guys on the drums, there's kids taking their shirts off and swinging it around, going crazy. That's really the atmosphere you sign up to be a part of when you choose to chase this dream.
Now let's back up a little bit. Let's get away from the soccer field. Let's get away from training.
For sure.
Talk about family. Like I said, you just became a dad.
That's right.
You have a little girl. Let me get that correct.
Little girl.
We were talking about kids earlier before the show started. How excited are you and your wife about everything that's going on now that you guys are parents?
Oh, dude, we again extremely blessed, super excited. We're sort of learning together. She's a natural. She's a natural for sure. I struggle, man. I think just like a week ago, I finally learned how to swaddle my baby. My baby's been around almost 3 months.
God.
So,
That's tough.
yeah.
I still don't know how to do that.
But I'm telling you, like she's found her hand. She's making faces now. She's eye contact as well. It's amazing to see the growth in my little girl. And I didn't know I could be so in love. I didn't know I could be such a sucker. I can't imagine when she's older and she's asking for stuff
Oh,
like to buy
man.
stuff. I'm like, of course. What do you want?
How do I
Here's my
say
credit
no?
card. Go spend. So I'll be in danger for sure. I'm gonna need my wife's help to help me out there.
So how old now is your little one?
She's 2 months. On the 19th, she'll be 3 months.
Okay. Everything went well with the pregnancy, all that?
Almost perfect.
Nice.
We are when her water broke. I mean, we had heard stories of like the first time it's like 40 hours labor. You're in there for weeks on end. Like it's just
the horror
wild,
stories.
dude. We were in there. 3 hours later, my baby was born.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was asking dumb questions like when it was time like to start the pushing. I asked, I was like, "Do I need to go bring the car seat?" I turned to the nurse. I was like, "Hey, the car seat's in the car. I left it in there. Do I have to go?" And she's like, "Your baby's about to be born." Like, well, she's got to go somewhere. Like, what are we gonna do? Just hold on to her? You got to put her down? No. Man, I just felt like an idiot. Like the nurse looked at me. My wife looked. My wife's like, "Shut up! Just tell me to push." So it's been a fun ride, bro, for sure.
What has been the hardest thing for you when it comes to being a parent?
Oh man, the hardest thing for me is that patience for when they're just like belligerent screaming. I call it the lizard yell because they obviously they can't say anything, right? And you just see them, their faces turning around, and you just feel terrible. You're like, oh my gosh, am I doing this to you? So that's definitely been like the hardest part, and to be like patient, to like put her down and take a lap and be like, take a deep breath, and then come back and figure it out. The swaddle, the diaper, the milk, whatever. the pacifier,
Whatever needs to be done. to
the
calm her down.
swing, not the swing, the bouncer. You have no idea, dude.
Walk around, drive around for a few hours until you figure it out. Too.
Dude, one
Have
time.
you done that one yet?
So wild, bro. She has hated the car for the last like month.
Really?
But it's because us as parents, we didn't know that you could adjust the size of it. So one day she had an accident on the car seat, and like my mom was here, and she just took it apart, and like we put her back in, and she like loved the car seat all of a sudden. And we're like, oh my god, she's getting bigger, so she outgrew it. You gotta change the size,
Right.
Like the straps and everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we like looked at each other and we're like, we're a bunch of idiots, man. Like, no wonder she's in the car and she's like belligerent, man. But one time, my wife was out for Bible study, right? And she's like, I'm gonna leave you the kid. And I was like, deal, no worries. And she's like 4 hours gone with the baby, with her girls. And man, she was just nuts. So I like put her in the stroller, and I swear I like went around my apartment complex for like 2 hours just in the stroller. And my dog, I was walking.
That's
them
what I'm saying.
both
You have
together.
dogs, right? Or you have a dog?
I have a dog, yeah. So that was the only way. And like she'd finally come. I was like, say substitution, you take her, I'm out. I'm running.
Tag me in. Tag me in.
Yeah, seriously.
So
But-
how has your wife taken everything though? Now that you guys are back, like I mean, you're out about it now. It's not just you guys quarantined basically at
Yeah.
home doing your thing. You got to be a little more safe now. I mean, is she a little more weary now that you guys have the little one at home?
Totally. I mean, I would say our lifestyle hasn't really changed, but we're not like very big people on like going to big places, surrounding ourselves with a ton of group. Like we're fine being secluded. We're fine
gotcha.
like on our own. Every now and then we'll go do a little stroll, but we don't need to be in a giant party. Like we're fine. Says our lifestyle hasn't really changed. We have a couple friends that we know they're okay.
Got it.
We can go to the desert out with them or whatever. They come over for like a carne asada, barbecue.
Tacos de buche.
Tacos de buche. You already know. Dude. And I would just say with us starting soccer back up, that's probably been like the harder part now, because now I'm working, I'm training,
Got it.
I'm coming back home, and if like if the baby's like struggling, I mean I'm like
You're
a zombie.
tired.
Like
Yeah.
you don't want to give the baby to me. I don't trust myself at that moment. And so we're trying to find that groove now, right? We're in like week 2 of training, and like how can we do this? All right, after my nap, you go do your thing, and I'll take care of her. So we're finding that rhythm.
What about your family outside from Vegas with this whole COVID-19 situation? Everybody good? No one's been affected? No one's been...
Everyone's been good. My mom was actually, so she's been in this process, right? Her kidneys aren't working at their finest. So that the surgery was sort of put on pause for COVID-19, but she was finally cleared for that dialysis procedure, and she's good now. My youngest brother, who was in Iraq, got back to the US of A yesterday.
Nice.
So super happy to have him
Thank you
back.
for your service, your
Hey,
brother.
he's amazing, man. Amazing. He's currently doing his 14 days of quarantine in the barracks over there.
Really?
In
Where at?
Yeah, he's in Fairbanks, Alaska.
He's in Alaska.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, it sucks. He showed me a picture of their breakfast this morning. It was like hash browns and like turkey bacon.
Hey, it's probably better than
Well,
what they're serving
yeah,
the guys
that-
in the NBA
the
freaking
NBA.
NBA bubble. Jeez, I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, I'm sorry. You were saying about your brother, but
No. So family's great, man. My dad's good. My dad's working. Again, my brother finally off of unemployment, back to his job too. He was
Nice.
sort of happy. He was playing video games, enjoying that. And we were happy to
a
get
lot
him
of
off his
people were
butt.
enjoying the unemployment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So family's good, man. Family's blessed, bro. It was a tough time, but I'm happy we got through it.
Got it. So I got a fan question for you.
Send
'Cause like
me.
I said, we do have some fans, obviously supporter groups. So one question they did have is, did you know that the coach from your days at Fresno FC, and if so, what can you tell us about it?
So do I know him?
The new coach. Yes.
Oh, Frank Gallup. Yeah, I know him. He was the general manager at Fresno. Great guy. Obviously, this is my first time working with him as my coach.
Got it.
The general manager, I told him, like, Frank, every time I see you, I want to ask you for more money, you know? But no, he's I mean, obviously MLS championship winner, coached big teams in the USL, been a general manager for big teams also in the USL. The guy knows what he's doing. He's a much different style from many coaches that I've worked with,
Okay.
but it's effective. It's effective. I think it's awesome that he's very straightforward. He doesn't need to be emotional. He'll just call it how he sees it. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's the best thing, just like a raw truth, right? There's nothing that's going to beat your confidence, rise, low. He's just going to tell you, you need to be better, or you're doing great, keep it up. And to me, I find that as awesome. It's great feedback, and like, all right, I know where I'm going. I know what I need to do. And I think he's a great selection. Great selection.
How does his approach or his attack compare to your previous coach Eric? He brought you in, but what you were learning, I guess, already. Prior.
For sure. I would say Eric was definitely introvert. I think it's like the right word. He's very out there. He's like different formations. He's always chatting up the storm. He's always bringing the team in together, showing videos. And I'd say Frank is a little, I don't know, maybe it's because he's like taking on this team a sort of later or short notice, that he's more of an observer. He wants to watch. He wants to see how you deal with stressful situations. He wants to see what you're like when you're extremely tired. Maybe he'll make a rule that's just complete nonsense, and he wants to see your reaction about it. He's like, what are you going to give me? Are you going to complain? Are you going to not like this? Or are you going to be like, all right, you got it, boss? And I like that about them. I like that. In terms of style, I think he's very traditional. Like when he was at the Earthquakes, he had big strikers up top. He had that 4-4-2. And we'll see if he uses the same thing, right? I think you work on the team with the personnel you have. Some teams you can be like that. Some teams you can't. Definitely. So I think next week we'll start doing a little more tactical shape, seeing how he's going to use the guys. Again, right now he's observing. And every now and then he gives his 2 cents, but I think he just wants to see right now.
Once again, I am Jose V. This is another episode of Straight Bet Sports here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Rob G to my left. Joining us in studio, Ramon Martin del Campo from your Las Vegas Lights FC. Hanging out with us for a bit. Finally got him out of the quarantine so we can hang out just for a little bit and conversate. So, James, if you could pull up that video, I did speak to Coach earlier today after practice, since we've already mentioned the new head guy, Frank Wallop. Here's what he had to say about him arriving in Las Vegas, what his plans are, and are we going to see him beyond the remainder of this season?
So what prompted your move to come here so quickly, knowing that the season is shortened, and coming into a team that was pretty much set by another individual already?
Yeah, well, basically, myself and Brett spoke probably 10 days ago now, something like that. And, I actually texted him just to help him out, if I could help out with any kind of situation, getting another coach in or whatever it was. And we just got chatting, and I was kind of in between projects. And I half jokingly to start with said, I could come and help you out if you really, want me to do that. He didn't want a long-term thing right now. He wants a bit of time to, especially at this time of the COVID-19 stuff. So just needed someone to come in for this season, run it through, and then gives him time to build and then get the right person moving forward for the future for, Las Vegas Lights.
So you bring a lot of experience to this team, especially with your background, with your pedigree in the English Premier League, in the MLS. What are you telling these guys that you can let them know about your knowledge, your experience that they might not already have in their mind moving into this shortened season coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it is a short season, so we've probably had together maybe 6 or so training sessions. We've got a game on the 25th, so it's coming up quick. But, I've been around the block a little bit, not just playing-wise, but coaching-wise. And what I like about this group, they're very receptive to the coaching. And I haven't coached much yet because it's getting to know the players. I like to do that, let them flow and play, and just kind of add stuff as I go along. And then we're really, getting closer to the game, we can start to really ramp up with our tactics and set plays and stuff like that. But right now, I just want to get him in good habits with and without the ball, and they're working hard and trying hard. So that's a good start.
So what has been, or what do you see being one of the biggest obstacles for you this season? Like I said, coming into a shortened season with a team that you haven't coached yet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not knowing the players is never easy, but I can usually get going pretty good and get to know the players quickly. We have a tough group, I'll tell you that. We got Phoenix, who are a very, very, very good side. San Diego, LA Galaxy 2, and Orange County. So, those teams, and us, and those are 5 good teams in this league. So that's not going to be easy. I think maybe a little bit behind the 8 ball with the training and the testing, but again, no excuses. We'll be ready to go on the 25th. And for us, it's just getting a good 2.5 weeks or so of training in ready and be prepared for that first game.
How have the guys welcomed you and your training style so far here?
I think it's been good. Yeah, we've been receptive, and again, we've just been playing. Today was a good playing day, so I can get them opened up, see what they're all about. Because in the end, you can do small-sided stuff. You can kind of bog them down with coaching, but in the end, really, they just want to get playing, and I can really assess them in the bigger field and playing the real game. If it makes sense.
Once again, we are here with Frank Wallop, new head man of the Las Vegas Lights FC. So, once again, someone like yourself with the type of pedigree that you have and the experience begs to differ the question: why not stay long term? Why stay only a short term? Do you already have prior engagements, or is it just you want to come in, see what you could do here, help Brett get the right person, and move on?
Yes, you said them both. Actually, I got another project I'm going to real soon after this. It's probably at the beginning of next year. It was a perfect timing and Brett wants that time to get someone that's going to be here for a number of years. And he said he's had two head coaches in a couple of years or 2.5 years, and he wants to get maybe some stability and some continuity. So if I can help with that process, I'm here to offer all my experience and help in guiding him in the right decisions. But obviously, it's nothing's set in stone and nothing's easy. But hopefully, we can work together and accomplish having a good season, although shortened. Set ourselves up and play well, and then assess the players to make sure that they're strong for next year, and then kind of go from there and hopefully build a great franchise. Because off the field, fan-wise, it's been unbelievable. I mean, it's packed, it's really exciting, and when you come to the stadium, it's got that buzz. So now hopefully we can get the soccer side to making the playoffs is something special in any sport. So that's what we're aiming to do next season. Hopefully this year, but definitely building forward for next year.
So you brought up the fans, so I'll make this our final question here. No word on when the fans will be allowed back in the stands, but the fans will be watching from home.
Yeah.
What can they expect for the rest of this season?
Well, I mean, like I said before, the guys are going to work hard. They're going to be organized. They're going to be ready to go. We're playing against some talented teams and that have played together for quite a bit. So, for us, it's just making sure that we, make a good account of ourselves in every game we play. And we had a great result in San Diego to start the season out. One tie away from home is never bad. Should have won that game, to be honest. We could have had 3 points already. It wasn't to be for whatever reason. And, now we've got to go back there and try and get the 3 points in the next match. And we've got 15 games to really, enjoy the rest of the season. Hopefully we have enough points to make the playoffs. And like I said to the guys, who knows what can happen once you make the playoffs. We could go ahead and win the whole thing. But first things first, I just want to get these guys organized and make sure they play well and really fight hard for the crest on their chest.
Once again, here's Frank Wallop, new head man of the Las Vegas Lights. Coach, best of luck to you this season. Thanks again for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So that was new head man Frank Wallop of the Las Vegas Lights FC. Now, Ramon, he talked about that in the video, how he's not going to be here next season. You as a player, how tough is that? Because for you, it's basically going to be your third coach in less than a year, right?
Yeah.
Because you came from Fresno, you were here with Eric for a bit. Now we got Frank. Knowing that he's not going to be here past the remaining of these, 16 games or whatever it is you guys are going to play. How is that for you mentally? How do you prepare yourself for something like that, knowing that I got to learn this style and then I'm going to have to learn another one?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's part of the business. It's part of the business. It's going to happen. Sometimes coaches and owners don't get along. Coaches aren't winning games, and sadly, they let go. They part ways. And for myself, if you're a professional, a true professional, you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to be a good tool in other people's toolboxes, right? Like people see that and they go, I need that in my toolbox wherever I go. And I understand it's part of the business. He's here to look for somebody, but that doesn't give me an excuse to play poorly, because at the end of the day, my stock's going to go down lower. Definitely. And the next guy that comes in might look at me and be like, well, he was not that good. I don't need him. I want a guy that's going to come in here and take a look at me and be like, well, given the circumstances in these 16, 15 games, he did what he had to. He led the team. Hopefully, and God, I hope I play well. And the guy goes, that's someone I want on my team. And that's what I mean about being adaptable. You got to be able to play well and earn the next contract and earn the next job. Because if you don't, you're going to go homeless. You're not going to get a team. You might get a salary cut. And it's going to be hurtful, right? Already in the USL, which the salaries aren't the best. So you got to be adaptable. You got to find a way to succeed. And failure is not an option. You can't use excuses.
Talked about salaries. Were you guys taken care of during this whole pandemic? I'm not telling you to give me numbers or anything like that, but were you guys taken care of during this pandemic?
100% taken care of. I cannot express my gratitude towards Brett. I mean, such a tough situation to be in, and every paycheck he came through. More of a reason to fight for that man. I mean, the respect I have for him to be in a situation like that, I totally understand. There's no money coming in, and he still got to pay us. So complete respect for him. Again, we know each other briefly. We've conversed many times, but honestly, when you do something like that, when you find the strength to just keep coming through for your players, you just gain a ton of respect for them.
Once again, he is Ramon Martin del Campo, defender of your Las Vegas Lights FC. I am Jose V. This is another episode of Straight Bet Sports here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Rob G to my left. So I believe we do have a caller, and if this is the caller that I am thinking it is, it's Derek Clark, I'm guessing, and he wants to ask Ramon a question. Ramon, you said you were up for questions tonight?
Absolutely.
So this is one of our supporters from the electric company, I'm guessing. Derek, is that you?
Yeah, how's it going, Jose? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you calling in. What's your question tonight for Ramon?
Yeah, Ramon, we're great to have you and the guys back. We wish we could have you guys playing earlier, but we understand the reasoning behind it. It is a great game to have away again, just to go back and prove ourselves. I think, again, what Coach Frank was saying, we should add that win. Also, again, I don't think we ever got a chance to thank you, but you and the entire team coming over at the end of the game, that was huge to our section, and just thanking us for being there. And then coming back, hopefully we could be in the stands against Reno, which is always a huge game. Yeah, enough said about that. My question for you, Ramon, is when you're in that corner and you're about to take that corner, you got that adrenaline going, what music do you want to hear pumping? I was thinking Darth Maul's Duel of Fates, but it's up to you. I know you're a huge Star Wars fan.
I am a big time Star Wars fan, and I love that Duel of Fates. That's pretty badass. I'm sorry, I have to say that. I would say I would totally go for it. I think that fits my personality 100%. I mean, it's like dramatic at the same time, but very passionate. It's like anger, good against evil, but end of the day you prevail. I mean, I'd say totally Duel of Fates. That's my song.
Sweet. All right. Hey, thanks for coming on. And then, Jose, thanks for having this. And tell your brother anytime he wants to come by the tailgate, grab a beer, and then also scarf on me. Tell him welcome back. Thanks, dude.
Appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the support, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That was Derek Clark, one of the electric company supporters out here in Las Vegas, one of the premier supporter groups for the Las Vegas Lights FC. I'm telling you, man, everybody loves you out here, bro.
Oh, man, I love
Before
that.
you even got out here, people were like excited talking about it.
Oh, dude, I remember first getting here. I like made an effort to go meet a lot of guys from the electric company. I went to Abel Baker with them.
Yeah,
We went to go see a USA against Costa Rica together, and it was just like, meet me, and let me meet you as well. Let me put a face behind the supporter, right? Lucy Fuerza, we were also gonna do the same thing, but then like this pandemic happened, and we were like planning like a carnita asada with some tacos de buche and everything, and then stop. But it was awesome meeting those guys. They met my wife when she was pregnant. It was just like very personable.
I gotcha.
And it's I feel like it's different, right? Like they are now added into my family. They are the faces, like when there's a play that I'm tired about, I see those faces.
I gotcha.
And I go, they spent money to come watch me play. They spent money to come see their team. I'm representing their city.
Got it.
I got to do everything I can so that they walk away and they're proud of Las Vegas. They're proud of the Lights. And they're proud of a player like myself and my teammates.
How do the fans compare here in Vegas compared to other, like, say, for example, Fresno or any other place that you've played on the road?
Man, I have to say, I've been blessed. Everywhere I've gone, I've met tremendous fans, tremendous people. I would definitely say there is a bigger fan base here in Las Vegas. There's so many people. There's light stickers everywhere you go. I was very blessed in Fresno. Those guys loved me. They took me under their wing. They're called Los Vigilantes. They're top people. So I think in terms of like personable people, just by face, they've all been amazing.
Nice.
They've all been amazing. Here in Las Vegas, they are in numbers. They are the vast. It's awesome. It's awesome because everywhere you go, they're ride or die. And I think that's super cool.
So I got another question for you from one of the fans as well. Let's go back to social media. In your opinion, shouldn't the ref have paused the game when you collided with Sandoval and San Diego scored that goal?
I
gotta throw it back a little bit.
Yeah, dude. I 100% agree. I think it's an obvious rule. Head-on-head collision, you stop the game. And I think if you look at the video, the referee puts the whistle in his mouth, and then he takes it out. So I don't
second guess himself.
Yeah, second guess himself. It just goes to show you how much of You know, they're not robots. They make mistakes as well. They get caught up in the game. They get caught up in pressure as well, and they like to act tough. Referees love to act tough. I'll say that, and I'll keep saying
Referees
that. Oh, they
love
love
to
to act tough. They love to act like they're the hardest guy on the.
Hopefully, there's no refs watching that are going to be refereeing any games.
They can see it. They can take a little bite of humble pie. Literally, everywhere you go, they act like they're the baddest guys in the schoolyard, man. You're like, dude, you're a referee. Chill out. We're on the same boat here. Chill, man.
Right.
And it's like you're talking smack. The game's all about talking smack. You say it to them, they're like,
You got sent off one time here, right? Is that what you said?
I did get sent off. Also,
But were you with the you were
with Fresno,
with
right?
the Fresno.
I was with Fresno, and that for sure was a huge error on the referee.
Was it straight red or was it double?
Straight red. So
Oh, wow.
the play happened. They get in behind. Our keeper comes out. They sort of lob the ball over him. I sprint to the end line to block it, and it deflects off the keeper, and I'm at the end line, and it just hits my chest. And then I clear the ball. To me, I'm like, no big deal. And the referee calls a penalty, calls a handball on me. Man, I was devastated.
No way.
And as I think the first thing I did is I sprinted out to the sideline referee. I fastest I've ever sprinted in my life. I went straight to him. I was like, dude, you saw this? He's like, no, I didn't. I was like, what? And then as I got sent off, man, I think it was DJ Ocho.
DJ Ocho probably. He's been there since
that
day
fool
one.
was talking so much smack. He was talking so much smack. He's like, see you later, fool.
Oh my
It sucks to
God.
suck. And then, I'm pretty sure it was like Lucy Fuerza. They were talking so much smack too. I wanted to grab a Gatorade bottle and just chuck it at them.
It's tough, man. They get on the players. So that's another thing I wanted to ask you. Do you think that some of the fans go a little overboard sometimes? You've been playing this game your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been situations where you're like, come on, man, I shouldn't be hearing this right now?
You know what? Honestly, I've never been stricken with anything like that. I understand that there are fans around the world that do cross the line,
Got it.
and I don't think that's tolerable at all. But being here in Las Vegas, I mean, it's normal smack talk. I mean, for me,
Acceptable, normal soccer smack talk, as you would say, basically. I got you.
Exactly. It's like normal. It's like that's what you're there for, to heckle the players, to bug them, and no one's ever crossed the line with me.
Got it.
And being a professional player, I got thick skin. I can deal with it. But in that moment when I got that red, man, I was falling apart.
There's no replay. There's none of that, right?
Not in the USL. You
No.
guys don't have a VAR yet, right?
No, there's no
USL.
VAR.
No, so
There's
it's-
no VAR.
Wow. Whatever the ref says goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever your best friend says goes, because you're good friends with the ref.
Oh yeah, they love me so much. They love me so much. You know? But sadly, I mean, only one time I've experienced fans that cross the line, and it was when I was playing for Saprissa.
Okay.
And over there, like the rivalry game is like life or death. It's
Where's this at again?
it's in Costa Rica.
Okay.
I remember we won the first division, the final game, the championship game. We won it. I remember going into the locker room, changing my jersey, getting my jersey on to go sing with the fans, and a fan from outside the stadium threw a beer bottle over the gate, and it landed and opened me up right here on the side. I got 12 stitches.
No way.
Dude, it was a wild season, man, because I had so many injuries. And
How old were you?
I was 21. I think I was 21 years old. Yeah.
Neta? Wow.
Dude, and I was just like, wow. Like, I remember bending over and just seeing blood on blood on blood. And I was like, what benefit did that bring to the game? A fan threw a beer bottle over the gate. I mean, what were you trying to do?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're just kicking a ball. You know, this isn't they're fighting for freedom or nothing, whatever. It's just
kicking a soccer ball, having a good time.
Exactly. I mean, your team could have won, and it is what it is, man. It just happens. You had next season, and then it's like 2-week vacation. You're right back at it again. So that was probably the only time a fan went overboard. He didn't say anything to me. He just threw the beer bottle, and it just landed on my head, which sucked. That does suck.
So, out of all the places that you played, because you played in a lot of places overall,
Mhm.
you're from Hermosillo originally, right?
That's right, yeah.
You played college in, was it San Diego?
UC Davis.
UC Davis.
Yeah, but I grew up in San Diego. Basically.
Got it. Grew up in San Diego. What was the toughest place for you to play so far? Because obviously, when you're at a certain age, sometimes it's tough because you have tougher coaching or you're growing.
Mhm.
Overall, everywhere that you played, from your young days to now, what would you say was the toughest time you had in your playing career?
I love that question, and I'll say it till the day I die. It was playing in Costa Rica, playing for such a big team, and coming out of college. Here in the United States, it's just different, right? We have that college environment, which it works very well in the NFL, works very well in the NBA and baseball. In my opinion, it's not the best in soccer, but what it does give is it gives that player, just in case you fail, a safety net. But let's say when I went over to Saprissa, I mean, my debut, I was about 20 years old, in a stadium of 40,000 people against Boca Juniors, a big team. In that
wow.
in
Okay.
that starting 11, there was a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old.
In your starting 11.
In that starting 11. In that picture, there's a 16 and 17-year-old. And keep in mind, this is my first professional game. I was 20 years old. And so I'm over here shivering, right? It's like, oh my gosh, so many people here. And I look at those kids and they're like, it's like they've done it before.
It's like nothing for them.
And that's the difference, right? Like 20 years old, your first professional game, you're considered old for your first pro game. When you got 16, 17-year-olds that are like fighting in between the first team and their academies, it's just different. And that's the world for you. And these kids, it's very much, it's I make it or I eat tortillas the rest of my life. That's the reality.
Saprisa's one of the best teams in. I mean, they're always at the top, right?
Oh yeah,
in Costa Rica.
I would say the best team in Central America, and I'd probably say in the top 10 of the North America, right?
Wow.
All that.
Yeah, they're really good.
And so I struggled to play there, but I would say I learned so much. I wish I had the knowledge I had now, so I can go back to my 20-year-old Ramon and be like, "Hey, don't mope around, dude."
My 20-year-old.
Yeah, they're not gonna wait for you. They're not gonna wait for you. The pack is gonna keep moving, and if you fall behind, bye-bye.
So is there anything that you regret from your past that, as you were learning and getting older, when you were younger, that you wish, man, I wish I would have done that differently?
You know what? What I regret is signing with big-time agents coming out of college. Because when I was coming out of college, I was ranked number 4 of the seniors in the nation, and
Really?
and I didn't really have a mentor or any guidance going into the pro game, and it was basically my parents, right? And God bless their souls, they were doing the best to help me. But we all fell for the trap of the big-time agents and
They sell you the dream.
the flash and this and that, and sadly they burnt a lot of bridges for me with other teams. It was out of a miracle from God that Deportivo Saprissa was like, doesn't matter, come over here, we'll still take you. They burnt a lot of bridges for me, and I wish I could have gone back and be like, hey, when you're interviewing the agents, don't fall for it, or don't get so stargazed. Like sit there like a businessman and talk to them and ask the hard questions, make them feel uncomfortable.
Was it that they were trying to get you more money, or the agents how they burn bridges and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was. They were very set on me playing in the MLS,
Okay.
and of course, at that age, I was very set on playing in the
20
MLS.
years old, why not?
Totally.
Definitely.
And they were selling me the 6-figure salary. It was big time. I mean, dude, I was like, yes.
Of course.
And I
absolutely.
Had,
Where do I
had-
sign?
Yeah, and I had doors open with Saprissa, and I had a door open with Cholos, the Tijuana.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and so basically, those connections that I made with Saprissa and Cholos were my connections. I did that meeting people and getting out of my comfort zone, networking exactly. And I sort of grabbed those connections. I said, "Here you guys go. Here's the connections. Help me get a contract." And they grabbed it and they sent it. They had their agenda. They accomplished their agenda, but when the other teams were trying to reach out to them, they took it as a slap to the face. And they're like, "Who is this kid coming out of college, not responding to us?"
Oh.
And I remember Galliano Luconi, who was the general manager of Saprissa, he called me and said, "I will not sign you if you're still working with these guys."
Really?
He's like, "I'm just going to be upfront with you. They're disrespectful. I'm not going to deal with it." And at the time, I wasn't selected in the MLS draft.
Wow.
Cholos at Tijuana said, "Bye-bye." Never responded an email anymore. They ripped up the contract. And then I told Luconi, "Hey, I let go of them. I'm not working with them. My dad's my agent now." He's like, "All right, come over."
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
My dad watched the Jerry Maguire movie like 10 times. He thought he was ready, man. You know?
You know, you know, it's funny. We're just talking about that on the way here. You know, the guy that's the agent for Patrick Mahomes is the guy from Jerry Maguire.
No way.
Yes.
That's wild.
I was listening to it on the radio this morning. I'm like, that's insane. But wow, so that's crazy. So you're a 20-year-old kid dealing with agents and trying to make your own connections and everything. And
Oh yeah, dude.
that's insane, bro. I can't think about like how that would be. Like,
Oh, dude.
how do you even concentrate on playing or practicing or trying to be anywhere to be in shape when you have all this going on?
So like the training part, the staying in shape part wasn't a problem for me. It was very much, I was very dedicated. I didn't have a problem with that. I love doing it, right? The agent part, man, that was the toughest thing because it was the first time I had to deal with disappointing other people, like telling them like, "I'm not gonna work with you." Or I remember a volunteer assistant coach. He went out of his way to like set up a phone call, and I had already signed with the other agents, and I didn't tell him anything. And then I ended up talking to him. Hey, I already signed. And I made him look bad. And like those are the small things that no one really teaches you, right? Like you're just in college.
Yeah.
And I had zero idea of how to be a pro, zero idea. Like my mom and dad were giving me guidance. You know what I mean? Like, what are they? My dad's an engineer, architect. My mom's a stay-at-home mom, and I was asking them for help. And like, God bless their souls, they did everything they could for me. They were very helpful. We're people of faith, so we prayed a lot. I mean, but naturally, I made decisions where, I closed the door on myself on accident. But I learned so much that I've had former teammates that were in college. They call me for that wisdom, and
awesome.
I put it all on the
Spread
table.
that word.
I just tell them, hey, hold on, because here you go. I'm about to go 2 hours off on you, and hopefully you walk
It's a roller
away.
coaster. Be ready.
Yeah, like hopefully you make a better decision than I did. And so far, those guys have been pretty successful. I don't know if they use my advice, but I'm happy for
But they're
them
doing
regardless.
good.
Yeah.
Once again, here's Ramon Martin del Campo of your Las Vegas Lights FC. I'm Jose V. This is another episode of Straight Bet Sports here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Got Rob G to my left. James, big game James. We call you that tonight because you got the LA hat on.
Quan just said something about you too. He said you got a baseball hat, soccer jersey, and basketball shoes on.
Hey, it is what it is. Quan commenting on the video as well. And everything covered, definitely. So we did talk to your goalkeeper, one of your teammates as well, Tommy Olsen. We got one more video here. If we can get that up there real quick, James, as well, we'll talk about that shortly after the video. I want to get your thoughts on the dead horse, as we say. Keep beating the dead horse. Eric Ronaldo no longer being here, but we'll get your thoughts on that right after this video of Thomas Olsen after practice.
Jose V here, Straight Bet Sports on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Finally hanging out at Cashman Field for a little bit of a practice here. We're talking with Tommy Olsen. It's been a minute, my man. How are you doing today? How was practice? How have you been in general?
I'm good, man. We're just getting in the swing of things now. It's been obviously a crazy, I guess, off-season you can call it. It's been like 3 months. It's good to finally get in the swing of things, man. It's only our second or third practice all together, so it's good to see the guys and get going, man. So I'm happy to be back.
So what were you doing during this break, basically, to keep yourself in shape or just keep yourself ready for the season when it came around?
It was tough, man. I think it was tough for everybody because you couldn't get in groups really. I was in the gym a lot, just like my small gym at my place, and with a few guys. I know I was training with Jonah as well, trying to hit the ball around the park and all that stuff. You had to find little things to stay in shape. I know other guys were riding bikes and doing all that, and it was tough. It was tough for sure, but I think everyone had figured out their own routine and got it going.
So how tough has it been going from one head coach to a new head coach? It's got two different styles and so such quick of a time.
Yeah, no, it's I think everything's been wild. Especially, you got COVID, you got the season trying to start, and then obviously Eric's not here anymore. So I think everyone it was tough at first, right? But what are you gonna do? We're with the club. The club pays us, and we got to figure it out.
It's a business at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Well.
Listen, that happens all the time. I've already been through. I was here when Chalise got fired as well, and you just gotta roll with it. At the end of the day, it's our careers on the line, and it's up to us to figure it out. So listen, we're happy and lucky that Frank's here, a guy with such experience. To be able to come in the squad even for just a few months. It's such a blessing for us because we knew it was a challenging process to find a head coach. So having Frank is a blessing.
You talked about how it's a blessing to have him here, even though it's going to be for a short period of time. What do you do to try to pull as much as you can from him and learn from him in this period?
Yeah, I think everyone right now is just trying to get used to him, just trying to build a relationship with him and kind of figure it out. I think we like we said, we've only had probably 5 practices with him, so everything's still pretty fresh. But everyone has a lot of respect for him, and we know what his playing career and his coaching career has been like. So when he's talking, we're all listening, and like I said, we're just lucky that he's here and willing to help out.
Has it been a hard transition from one coaching style to another for you so far?
You know what? I can't really say just because we haven't played, right? You don't really know until you play games, but we know Frank's, very open, but he talks to us, professional, and I don't think it will be too hard of a transition. I think everyone's excited and ready to get to work.
So far, no word on if there'll be any fans allowed in the stands. I would
probably think no. But,
so far, no. But that's one of the things that you guys feed on more than anything, and it's shown the first 2 years as you've gone by. When you guys play at home, the crowd energy just seems to change you guys into a completely different team. Mm-hmm. How's it going to be for you guys playing at home now without that crowd noise, without that energy, without people trying to hype you up and back you up?
I think it's a struggle, right? I think it's a struggle for everyone in the league. I mean, home field advantage is so important in this league. It's pretty wild. I mean, especially for us. You look at our record last year. You know, I'm disappointed. I know a lot of these guys, especially the guys who haven't played here yet. You know, they haven't seen what Cashman is like on a Saturday night. So I feel almost worse for them because they haven't had that opportunity. But listen, we're gonna figure it out. Every other team has to figure it out as well. You know, might help us on the road, so we could take a positive out of that. But yeah, it's you know, there's nothing really good to say. Obviously, we just got to roll with it, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully, all of our fans will be watching on ESPN, and you know, they'll give us some feedback after the games.
So, final question for all of the fans that will be watching at home. I asked Coach the same thing. What can they expect from you guys in this shortened season?
Listen, it's gonna be interesting, man. We're trying to piece this thing together right now, but like I said, we're excited. Frank's here. We have a good squad. We showed that the first game. Obviously, we only got one game to show that, but we have a good team. You know, hardworking team. So, you know, I expect us to go out there and put on a good show.
Once again, here's Tommy Olsen, goalkeeper here of the Las Vegas Lights. I'm Jose V. Appreciate your time, bro,
Thanks,
and have
Appreciate
a great
it.
season. Best of luck.
Appreciate it, man.
Once again, that was Tommy Olsen, goalkeeper of the Las Vegas Lights. We got about 4 more minutes here, give or takes. Want to say thank you to Ramon Martin del Campo for joining us in studio. But before we let you go, real quick, want to get your thoughts on Eric Ronaldo no longer being here. You and I talked about it before you came in. He was a big advocate of bringing you here. Once the season was over, I did speak to him as well, and he said, I have one guy on my radar. This is the guy I want to go after. Never mentioned your name, obviously, until you guys came to have you on the team. But he was a huge component of you being here and
That's right,
being
yeah.
here now. How difficult was the firing for you as a player, knowing that he was the one, probably the main person that went out of his way to make sure that you became a Las Vegas Light?
Totally. I mean, it was difficult for sure, right? It's one of those conversations you got to go home and bring it up to your wife and be like, hey, he's gone now. This was the guy that went out of his way to bring us over here. But again, it just goes back to being like, you have to be an adaptable player. You have to be ready for anything, right? I think the manner that he was let go, again, I mean, I don't know a lot of the information that happened. I don't know a lot of the specifics, but I think Brett's a smart man. I think Brett knew exactly what he needed to do for his business to prevail and to him keep order in the team. Not saying that Eric was bringing disorder or anything, but I won't question Brett's
decision.
Exactly. I mean, I think he's a good guy. He's paid me. He's paid the team. He shows that he cares about the team. He shows that he cares about growing the club here in Las Vegas. And obviously, there were just certain things that they didn't see eye to eye together. And you know, if you mess up, you're gonna get let go.
So I'm not asking for specifics, but do you agree with him being let go? You don't have to give me any information. Sure. You know, I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
For sure.
But from what you know and from the situation you were around, do you now say, okay, I understand and I can agree with him being let go?
Yeah, I can totally say I understand. I can totally see in the details and the stories and what I see as what I got to view, and I understand the decision. I understand it from a business point. I understand it from a soccer point. I understand it. I just get the whole thing. I get the whole thing, and it's unfortunate, but that's life, right? I mean, I think we've all been in that seat at some point where someone's looked at us and say they don't want you anymore. It sucks, but I mean, I've told people before, and I've told myself, you can't sit down and mope. You got to plan the next step. You got to plan the next step, and you got to grind. And I think Eric has shown that in his career as a player, as a coach, and I'm sure he'll find a job somewhere, and I'm sure he'll be successful. And it's unfortunate, but I understand.
Once again, here's Ramon Martin del Campo of your Las Vegas Lights FC. A couple more minutes here. Final question for you before we let you go. What can the fans, even though they're not going to be in the stands more than likely, what can they expect from you guys this season? Now that you're finally going to get to start and finish off the season that you came here for, Ramon.
Man, I want them to expect a team that's going to grind like no other. A team that has no room a team that has no room for excuses, basically. I mean, we can look at each other and say, oh, this is going to be difficult, a new coach, a new this, a new that. But the reality is, I mean, it's Vegas strong, man. Like Las Vegas has seen so much stuff happen to it. It's a city in the middle of a desert. How are you going to tell me we can make an excuse as soccer players when this city has just been a miracle itself? So I think we can be this. We can be the same way as a city. We can reflect the city. You know, a city that never sleeps, a city that's always grinding, a city that's always ready to succeed and go for more. I want the fans to expect that from us. That we're gonna grind no matter what the result, no matter what the calls are, no matter what variables thrown at us. We're gonna find a way to succeed.
I like it.
There you go. So Ramon, let everybody know where they can find you on all things social media before we end up.
They can find me on Instagram at Monchis14. It's not IS, it's YS on Monchis14. I know a lot of people lose themselves. I no longer have a Twitter, but I have a Facebook, Ramon Martin del Campo. You can add me. I'll accept. I don't really look at that stuff, but you can add me and go for it. I'll find a way to accept and make people happy. But that's my two main platforms.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate you coming in studio with us. We're definitely looking forward to the season. Best of luck to you guys. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Lights win the championship. How about that?
Ooh.
I'm going to put the pressure on
Why
you guys
not?
now. I'm going to put the pressure
Why
on you guys.
not
now.
us, right?
Right?
Why
exactly?
not us?
Why not?
Timestamp it.
Timestamp it. You heard it here first. Once again, I am Jose V. This has been another episode of Straight Bet Sports. Great show tonight, Rob.
Yeah, it was
Joel
good.
B in the background taking care of us as always. Big game, James, behind the big board tonight because Quan took the night off. We greatly appreciate it. Remember to check us out on YouTube. You can check this video out afterwards if you have not been able to see the whole thing today. If you want to listen to the audio, we are on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, GorillaCross.com. And not only that, check out the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Download it today, the app, on all platforms, including Apple and Android. If you have an Android phone, go to your Google Play Store. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with this, like I always do every single night, with a different thing. We didn't get to talk about the fight, but you know what? Game bread. That's all I'm going to say. I think Masvidal's going to pull it off. 6 days. He's going to shock everybody. Comes in 6 days and sign it. But I'm going to kind of steal this away from Ramon and change it up a bit into my own words. The world is always adapting and changing. So you need to adapt to change to become a better person as well. Some players need to adapt to change, whether it's coaching changes or style of play changes, to be better and to continue to strive and succeed. We need to adapt with life and what's going on in front of us in order to continue to succeed and be better as a human race. Till then, I am Jose V. This has been another episode of Straight Bet Sports. We are out.
See ya.